Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of ECR's Race Hub. I am your host, Joshua Sheets, and welcome to the show. Okay, as you can probably notice that I am here alone tonight. That is okay. We are going to get the same information out to you guys. Double the time, quicker the pace. We're going to see how quickly we can get this thing going, and so we can get on into this final race for the chase. And it's going to it's shaping up to be a really good one. I'm telling you guys, it is shaping up to be a real good one. And you know what? I don't like wasting time, so I'm going to jump right on into it. Shall we? Let's talk about the truck series. Now, the truck series now has a very tight points battle going on. But first, let's talk about this race that's going on here. We were at the Canadian Motorsports Park, I guess, Canada. And it was a very entertaining race. We had Justin Michael out front for most of the race. And, I mean, you would think he was going to get this race started. But, like always, we get surprised, you know? So, who knows who's going to win these races, but it was not Justin Michael. It wound up being some new guy. I mean, who is this guy that came out of nowhere and won this race? I mean, come on now. People just, take the orientation and shows up and wins the race. I mean, who is this guy? But Mr. James Ross just showed up out of nowhere and won this race. No, it wasn't. It was James Nunn. I'm sorry. I'm getting James mixed up. I'm sorry. Nunn won this race, and he just came up out of nowhere, surprised everybody, and just won the race. And wow, that's all I can say is wow. And my fault, guys. I froze it on a caution. We need to see some action. Let's get this some action going on here. Twisting and turning road course. Everybody loves a road course. Well, not everybody, but for some odd reason, ECR puts on heck of a shows here on the road courses. The last couple of times, it's been a battle between a handful of cars. Great show of wheelmanship. As I said, James Dunn, we've seen him right there, winner of the race. So let's go on here. My mic is low. Car's going by. Sound is gone. I know the sound is supposed to be gone, Susie. Thank you for watching. All right, hold on a second. Listen, just for Susie.
Keeping this race live.
Just for Susie.
Broadcast live as we are nearing the halfway point now.
Turn my mic up just a little
Jeremy
bit.
Morrison, we see now in
There we
10th
go.
place. He started 23rd, so currently
Ross
running out
won.
top 10.
Ross won trucks. See, that's why I'm
Hank Allen is
by myself
back down
sucks.
8th. He did lead
James
us
is
off
mixing
that
me up
last
because I
caution, so
was an
hopefully
idiot and
he
I
can
wrote
get a nice
down.
top 5 finish here tonight.
I wrote down James winner circle. So my bad, guys. James Ross won.
Oh, thanks, Susie, on
the truck
Susie, thank
race.
me for the good run on Saturday
As I
night
originally
over on
said,
the,
then James Nunn
SCR
won the Beeline
series,
race, which we will talk
is
about here shortly. Now let's talk about the chase format for the truck series. How close is it? How close can we possibly get in the trucks? Well, let's look. Look here. We got Justin Michael, Christian Schneider, Michael Leiby, Doug Hess, Jason O'Connor. They're locked in. All they have to do is start Chicagoland, and they're in. I mean, they don't even have to finish the race. Just start the race and they're in. Now, 6th place on down. They are not locked in. Not locked in. Here's the drivers. Andrew Melvin, George Price, myself, Josh Sheets, Scott Hunsinger, Will Prue, Earl James. Look at the points difference. Andrew Melvin, first of the guys who is not locked in, sitting at 340. He is tied with George Price. I don't. That's a typo. I put George Price is. I mean, pretty squirrel. Anyway, in 8th place is myself. I am 2 points behind them guys. But 2 points behind me at the cutoff mark is Scott Hunsinger. 3 points behind me at the cutoff is Will Prue. Earl James is sitting there 17 points behind Andrew Melvin. In other words, he is 15 points behind. If I have a terrible race, he's 15 points ahead of me, and somehow he's in front of Hunsinger and Prue. Earl James is in. It's going to be a crazy race at Chicagoland. If you guys plan on watching this wild and crazy event, go to Yeah Broadcasting Network on YouTube, like, subscribe, and just wait for the notification that we are live next, not this coming up Monday, we'll be off, but the next Monday at Chicagoland. It's going to happen. All right, guys. Truck race part of the session is done. That quick, guys. 5 minutes, we out. All right. Let's talk about the Beeline SIM series. The Beeline SIM series. It's a tongue twister at some points. Beeline SIM series. It's been a very tight points battle. We was talking about the last couple of episodes that people having to win to get in. A couple of weeks ago, Brad Bower won a race. He is finally locked in. It'd been ashamed if the point leader going into the chase was not locked into the chase. Only one spot remains left. You can either get in on points or hope and pray to whoever it is that you pray to that someone underneath you in points does not get a win. It's just simple. Let's check it out. We were at Darlington this week, and this track is aggravating enough to run by yourself. This is just me talking. Alright, I don't speak for everybody, but the track is aggravating for me. But some people enjoy this track. It's slippery, it's sliding, and these cars were pretty loose. To me, they were pretty loose, which I did not attend this race, but I can only imagine how it went. And from the looks of it, it got a little tight in the corners, and people was able to drive it up and under. It looks like a pretty good race to me, but if I was in it, I'd probably wrecked out. It's just me and Darlington. Me and Darlington do not get along together, but sometimes pieces of the puzzle just come together like a beautiful masterpiece, and some of these guys do it. And like we said, James Nunn won the Beeline Sim Series race here at Darlington, and he only led like 4 laps, but he led the laps that counted the most. And who can complain about that? I mean, I would gladly take 1 lap led and win a race. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I trade all the points just for a win. And speaking from a guy who has not ever won a race in ECR unless it was an exhibition event or during the off season. As we look at how the chase format looks at in the Beeline Sim Series chase, we have Trevor Rapolo. Looks like he needs 1 win, one more start. I'm sorry, 1 more start to be locked in. He's just got to start Richmond, and he's locked in. We got James Lehman with 2 wins. Rob Haynes also with 2 wins. And Brad Bower, Jonathan Boger, Ronnie Norman, Jeremy Morrison, Joshua Susi, Luis Salmaso, Caleb Sheets, no relation, Matthew Hibbs. All of those guys have 1 win. Matthew George has 0 wins. So Matthew George has to have a very good finish and hope that Ralph Vandervorst, Ken Worley, Todd Gilly, Jim Westerfield, or someone else on down the line who are running for points and who has done enough starts, and hope they don't get a win. If they get a win, that'll knock Matthew George out. And Matthew George is currently sitting 4th or 5th in points right now. And it's gonna be heartbreaking for Matthew George if either of these guys win the race and pushes him right out of the chase. Richmond's gonna be fun for these guys too. So right here on ECR League YouTube, we're gonna have this race next week. Tune in. It's gonna be awesome. If we have a broadcast, we've been a little loose on the broadcast here lately, so hopefully we have that race broadcast and give you guys a very good show. All right, let's talk about the Cup Series. See, look at that, man. We're moving right along. I love it. I love it. I love it. Moving right along. We are at the Cup Series. Cup Series ran at Darlington. Now, before we talk about the Darlington race, we have some throwback paints that was given to us by a handful of drivers. And we didn't get all of them, sorry to say, but we only got the ones that was shared to me. So let's take a look at them. Look at there. We got Pat Roche's number 9. Looks like a Jimmy Spencer throwback. We got a Jerome Gustin and a Petty throwback. Nice. Looks good. We got myself. I did a Kyle Petty NWO throwback kind of replica with the Cornerstone Church, the Rock, and we got a I don't forgot who drove that. I think either Jason Keller or somebody else. It's a Slim Jim car. And we got Thomas Lattimore's Ultimate Warrior. Talk to me, Warriors. Rest in peace. We got a replica of Dale Jr.'s Budweiser paint scheme that he ran at Daytona, which was turned into a blue AC Delco. Terry Labonte's car, drove by Anthony Thichner, old Budweiser. I love that. I love that car. We got the old Cale Yarborough Bush paint ran by Mason Clark, it looks like. Yep, Mason Clark. 25 Folgers. Oh, you gotta love the Folgers. Tim Richmond style. Gotta love Tim Richmond. And we got, I think that's Jameson Miller, who ran a sort of a Rainbow Warrior paint at Canadian Tire. Beeline SIM series. We got the 28 Nil, who was throwback from Dale Jr.'s Beeline car. And that's about all the ones that I had from the Beeline Sim series. I'm sorry I didn't get all of them. There was a couple of real good paints. Chris Watkins drove a replica of a Adam Petty's spree gum spree candy car, and it looked real nice. I see Joshua Susie's got a little military thing going on. Let's take a look at this. The race at Darlington. There we go. Load her up, baby. There we go. Look here. Susie's battling for the lead. Perfect timing there, Susie, if you're still watching. Perfect timing. Battling out with Bruce Ackerman. Trevor Rapolo winds up winning this race and at a dominating fashion to the last man. That's what I'm talking about, Susie. Yeah. Done a pretty good job there, Mr. Susie. Let's skip on through this. Go a little bit further into the race. Let it load in, load in, load in. There's some of that spree. Got a little right front damage there. Chris Watkins. Chris Watkins led for a little bit in the race. He thought for sure he was going to have a good shot at it, but Luis Salmaso, I think he came home in third place, but Trevor Rapolo, winner of the race. Now, we don't have a winner circle about the other guys, but I hope. Nope, I don't have it. Okay, well, anyway, let's look at the Cup chase. It has not changed one bit since a couple weeks ago, so I didn't really have to update it. Massey, Thichner, Bland, Jerome Gustin, Lattimore, Chris Steele. I think Chris Steele needs to have a couple more races. Bruce Ackerman. I think he's in there as well, and David Bordney is in there. Russell, Scotty Brown, Jordan Mackey, Joey Stats, Aaron Berge, and Ed Adams. There's a few of these guys that really are not going to be in. I think we're already going to be in the contender 12, mainly because should have won those. Yeah, Susie, you should. I mean, you had a stout car at both both races, the Beeline Sim Series and the Cup. You did have a very, very strong car. Yeah, I think there's in the Cup Series, the chase format is going to go right into the contender 12. There's probably not going to be anybody eliminated in the first three races, but it's going to be so important to get a win in the first three, so you can possibly get bonus points going into the contender 12. Every point counts. Every win counts. You got to take advantage of these moments, and when the contender 12 gets here, it's going to be a very happening series, so to say. All right, guys. Next week, Richmond. Tune in, and in 2 weeks we're at Chicagoland. Tune in. I mean, the action's only going to pick up. It's only going to be. It's only going to get more and more hot, 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 hot. Well, guys, it's been a short show, I know, but it's mainly chase focused. It's not really what's happening in the league, who's hot and who's not. I mainly wanted to do a chase show. So we're going to take a look at the chase format one more time on all three series. All right, we're going to see. Check this out. As we go through them, here's the truck chase. I mean, there is 5 guys competing to get into 2 spots, 3 spots, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I mean, it's just it's going to be. I guarantee there's going to be a bumper given somewhere. I mean, thinking of this, reminds me of I think it's last year of Ryan Newman and Kyle Larson. Ryan Newman giving Larson a bumper just so he can get into the chase or move on to Homestead. Oh my gosh, man. It's going to be horrific. And I'm in the middle of it, so my adrenaline is pumping. Let's check out the Beeline chase. It's only tied with Matthew George. Matthew George has got to finish ahead of Ralph Vandervoort, or make for sure these guys don't win. Ken Worley, Todd Gilly, Jim Westerfield, Ralph Vandervoort. I mean, that's one thing about this league. You never know who is going to win. James Ross won the trucks. James Dunn won Beeline. Who are these guys? Anybody can win at any given time. It's just not one-sided. Look at Beeline Sim Series. 11 different winners. That is just the guys who are locked into the points, not including the guys who came down from the Cup or came up from the truck. All right? It's anybody can win in this series. But let's go on to the Cup chase one more time. As we can see here, any of these guys can move on to the Elimination 8. We're not even talking about the Challenger 16 anymore. I'm talking about the Contender 12. Any of these guys can win. Let's take a look at David Bordney. He's been a sleeper most of the season, and I guarantee you this guy is hungry for a win. Joey Stats, he is strong everywhere he goes. He can win at any given time. Jordan Mackey, he has showed speed, he has showed talent. He can get in. Scotty Brown, another sleeper. I mean, all he needs is just one clean shot, one good break, and he can go through there. And let's talk about Jerome Gustin. He's been leading the points through the whole season. He is a definite threat. And Justin Bland, we haven't seen him in many of races. People are thinking, oh, Justin Bland is going to be out of it. Justin Bland is he's going to be a guy who just washed up or showed up and not knowing what's going on. But I'm going to tell you this from last year, Justin Bland, do not count this guy out. Do not count him out. Once you start doing that, he is going to make you eat dust in a heartbeat. Stephen Massey, hot streak. That's just 2 words for Stephen Massey. He's been on a hot streak the second half of the season. Anthony Thitchner went winless last season. Got 2-3 wins this year. Look at there. He can come up and win this. Thomas Lattimore, fast, week in, week out. If he can just stay out of trouble, stay out of someone else's mess or whatever, he can be your next ECR champion. Bruce Ackerman, same thing. Rookie, I don't care. He's not a rookie in iRacing. He is a rookie in ECR, but this guy drives like a 10-year veteran. This guy is strong. This guy's fast everywhere he goes. He could win. I mean, that's why that's why we love this league. Because there is not one guy dominating, unless you're Justin Michael in the Truck Series. But that's besides the point. Justin Michael, man, that dude can drive. He's earned every single win. But anyway, guys, just tune in this next two races. Oh my gosh. Richmond next week. See who gets in the chase in the Beeline SIM series. See who gets in the chase in the Cup. Then in 2 weeks, meet us on Broadcasting Network and check out and see which one of the 5 guys. I will show this up one more time. Which one of these 5 guys are going to make it in? I'm going to tell you my pick of these 5 guys. Okay, Andrew Melvin. I'm going to pick him. George Price was a champion 2 seasons ago. He's a champion Truck Series 2 seasons ago. I'll be a fool to count him out. And the last one, I could be selfish and pick me, or I could be smart and pick Scott Hunsinger. He's always a front runner in the Truck Series. So I am going to pick either me, myself, or Scott Hunsinger for that final spot. With all due respect for Earl James and Will Prue, they're just not my picks this week. I'm sorry, guys. Even though Will Prue is my driver of the S&M Motorsports, but it's just one of those things. I can't play favorites in this one. I would love for Will Prue to get a win and I get in, and we'll have a 3-car team, myself, Jason O'Connor, and Will Prue be in the chase. That'd be awesome. But you just have to see what happens. You know what? We're running late. I gotta go. So, love you guys. Thanks to you for watching, and I'm out. Peace!